We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Chet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Why don't you spill your beans?
Welcome back.
The
Film
scoop.
We're a day late. Sue me.
My little man wasn't feeling too good.
I'm still not, but fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I say. Gotta handle business.
We get shit done around here.
Yeah, I'm probably don't have the most energy right now, so if it's a lackluster episode, my apologies.
Whoa.
But
Lackluster scoop episodes don't exist.
I mean, listen, a lackluster scoop is still better than any other podcast that could exist.
You're goddamn right, dude.
But when you're pumping scoop after scoop into the cranium every week,
It is physically
you're going to
draining.
notice when it's a little lesser than.
Yeah.
So
You're
I'm
gonna know
just
when there's
saying.
not enough sprinkles on there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna tell there's not as much juice as normal.
I got you.
So yeah, we're back. There was some news, I guess. Nothing too crazy. They leaked a Daredevil trailer, and we watched that. We took part in an illegal viewing of said trailer.
Yep.
And
We broke all the NDAs.
Yeah, and I mean, damn it, if Marvel isn't raising my hopes. I mean, I try not to put any faith in them because they're pieces of shit. But that trailer's pretty nuts.
Yeah. Hopefully they stick to the tone that they're presenting. Gonna be really weird. Bringing the Kingpin back after being murdered in old Hawkeye. I think people forget that happened. I think people forget that show happened.
Murder?
What murder? Yeah, he's dead, dude. They ran him over. I think they ran him over and blew him up.
Different timeline.
And then
Different
now
Kingpin.
he's like, Vanessa.
That was Earth 616 Kingpin. This is Earth
Oh,
1981
yeah,
Kingpin.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking duh.
I shouldn't even be having this conversation.
Actually, in the comics, fucking there's 14 Kingpins.
Fuck those nerds, dude.
I am worried about how quickly they wrote the new season because they were doing that first attempt and filmed 4 episodes and was like, wait a minute, this is shit. So then they scrapped the whole thing and rewrote it like what seems like in a couple weeks. They just like rewrote the whole show and then started filming it instantly. And that scares me a little bit. But everything I'm seeing on screen looks good. And they've made every right decision they can so far. There's not been a decision they've made that I've seen after the readjustment that I think is bad. I think they're bringing back Kingpin, great idea. Bringing back Punisher, Foggy, Karen, Bullseye, all great stuff. Introducing Muse and White Tiger, awesome stuff.
Yep.
And it seems like they're teasing some new suits. They got the Newton brothers to do the score. Like, they're already working on season 2, which means it must be good.
Yeah.
So everything is lining up for this to be good, but it is Marvel, and the track record since Endgame, not good,
Yeah.
not swell.
You know what I realized not too long ago? Well, I mean, I guess this doesn't really have too much of an effect, but like, I think Disney bought Marvel like before Endgame.
It was like right when Endgame came out.
No, it was like a few years beforehand. Yeah, I googled it.
Wait, are you talking about Marvel buying Disney?
Or Disney buying Marvel? Sorry.
Oh, I was talking about Fox.
No, not
Disney
Fox.
buying Fox.
Yeah, Disney buying Marvel.
I think
a
that was
few
like
years.
2015 when they bought it.
When did Endgame come out?
2019.
I want to say it was like fucking even before 2015. I remember it being like a good couple years before they because I was thinking in my head, I was like, as soon as Disney bought Marvel, it went to shit, but it was like a good amount.
Well, like once you buy a company, like there's still 10 projects that have already been in the making before you.
Yeah,
bought
that's
that
what I
are
was saying.
gonna
It was
come out.
2009 is when they bought them.
They bought what?
Yeah, that's what Google says. 2009, Disney bought Marvel Entertainment for $4 billion in late 2009.
It's crazy.
I guess they just went to sleep, I guess. I
No,
don't
I
know
mean-
what happened.
In my head, like, I think when I think of this franchise went to shit when Disney bought it, I think of Star Wars. But it was already kind of in the shitter before they bought it. But I never really think, like, to blame Disney for Marvel. I just blame Marvel for Marvel. I just think that they built something really cool and then didn't know what to do after they climaxed.
It's so weird. It's such a weird situation.
And me and Carl were talking about it, and I was like, why is this like, what's the difference between pre-Endgame and post-Endgame? Like, between the projects they're choosing to make?
Yeah, that's kind of why, like, I Googled that. Was like, are they trying to get, like, appeal to more, like, younger people, trying to make more, like, family-friendly stuff
Yeah.
because they're owned by Disney now? But it happened, like, a few years before, and I was like, well, shit.
And I was telling Carl, the main thing I see in terms of, like, project choices that sticks out that is very, like, they're making very bad decisions now and that they didn't used to, is the spin-offs that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It seems like pre-Endgame, it's really hard to think of a single project they made that was like, they took a side character of a previous project and tried to make a project around them.
Yeah.
It basically never happened. They would introduce new characters. They'd say, here's the Guardians of the Galaxy, here's Ant-Man, here's Doctor Strange. But it wasn't side characters of a project. But then post-Endgame, you get Agatha all along. Now we're getting Ironheart. Now, and then, like, I'm not sure if Falcon and the Winter Soldier would be considered a spin-off. Like, kinda. But
I think it is.
It's just the new Captain America, so maybe not. But they're, like, no one really wants spin-offs.
Yeah.
Like, we want new original shows and not, less interesting characters.
I think the problem is just, like, the train is going faster than they can shovel coal into the engine, because, like, they're like, man, we need to pump out all these projects to make money. Like, we're at our peak right now. We need to keep grinding shit out, and they don't have anything to say, so they do these spin-offs with single characters to try, like, because, like, if you look at all their spin-offs, they really don't have, like, shouldn't be shows.
Yeah.
Like, with the exception of Loki. I think Loki had a decent amount to introduce with the TVA and then but, like, fucking WandaVision was just Wanda's powerful and becoming slightly evil.
Yeah. And
That's all that show is.
Yeah. WandaVision is, like, a cool concept, but it's not very rewatchable. And the concept was, like, they were doing WandaVision to set up Wanda for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of didn't happen.
Yep.
Like, they were kind of, like, unconnected.
But
Anyway,
we
so-
did get that beautiful ice cream song.
So, yeah, I just think that after Endgame, they should have instantly said, like, okay, that stuff was great. People liked that. Now, like, what are the characters that people love that we aren't doing anything with, like X-Men and Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
And let's
build
go ahead.
that.
Let's start building that up now. And then those will all be ready and introduced by the time we do our next Avengers or Secret Wars or whatever. That's what they should have been doing. Instead of all these Disney Plus shows that no one gives a shit about, that just Hawkeye, fucking Miss Marvel.
They're trying to do, like, everything at once when it's like, you can take your time, dude.
Yeah, it's...
You don't have to release a show every year or a fucking movie every year or all this other shit. Like, you can take your time, and, like, the Avengers stuff was great. And if you want to focus, like, take your team and focus on something like X-Men or Fantastic Four, you don't have to do another Marvel movie or another Avengers movie, like, involving those characters right away. You can let that have ended for a second and then go do something else and then come back to it.
Yep. But they just thought that, like, oh, we're Marvel and people will watch whatever we make, and then they're starting to realize that that's not really the case. And I think that they need to start, like, get to work on that X-Men reboot. Like, people love the X-Men.
Yeah, dude.
Even, like, movies that weren't very good made a lot of money at the box office.
Yeah.
So
I don't mean to spoil the episode, but I am rock hard for some X-Men, dude.
yeah. And I like Fantastic Four a lot, too.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking, I mean, they're finally making a Fantastic Four movie, which looks pretty cool. And apparently the next saga of the MCU is called the Mutant Saga, so they should be on the right track there. But yeah, back in like prime Marvel days, they were only releasing 1 to 2 movies a year. That's enough. No shows. Stop it with the shows. Unless it's a material that works best in show format.
Yeah.
I do think Daredevil works really well in a show format, and I don't mind that being a show. The problem is when you're taking something that should be a movie or shouldn't exist in the first place and then making it a show.
Yeah.
And not having enough material to have a full season on.
Yeah. I think a lot of the stuff that they've done like would work in a show in show form. They just haven't had enough to make it a show.
I just
like if you wanted to do Wanda taking over like a small town and like enslaving people and like people trying like the military trying to figure out a way to like kill her and stuff like that, like you can do that, but I shouldn't have been as long as it was. If you want to like show her like turning evil and getting that fucking book or whatever, like put some more shit in there to make it worth my time.
yeah. I mean I guess that's more so the problem is like, I guess any of the shows they've made, technically, you could have just written them better and they would have been good.
Yeah.
And, mission, like problem solved. So I guess maybe I'm taking out like, I'm blaming the project choices when in reality it's just bad writing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's true, but even then, like maybe it's just my personal preference. I don't love TV.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd much prefer movies.
I think requiring someone to watch 8 hours of your thing versus 2 is a lot more. You're asking a lot more of the viewer.
Yeah,
and you have to earn that. And shows, I feel like, need to grab you instantly.
Yeah.
Episode 1. You shouldn't have to wait episodes or seasons to get into a show.
yeah,
It's too much of a time commitment. They should be episode 1. Oh, I'm in. I'm gonna watch this now.
yeah. That's kind of why I hate on Game of Thrones so much. Is because you have to. I feel like you have. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I probably will never rewatch it. But I remember like having to get pretty deep into it before I was like, okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I can't really speak on it. It's been years since I've seen it. I do want to rewatch it though, so maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I was just saying like I'm not a TV person in general, so they have to be amazing for me to want to watch it. It has to be Severance, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, Succession, like shit like that, like top tier stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch like an okay Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the worst thing in the world, if it's just fine, like I don't really care to watch it. It's too much time.
Yeah.
I could have watched 4 movies in that
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
And movies just typically have better pacing too. There's less filler that's very to the point, and you can get it done all in one sitting. So that could just be me, like, not liking TV, and that's why I think it's a bad idea. But also from a business perspective, the streaming model just doesn't work. Streaming services are profitable when they're just getting licenses to other movies and putting them on their service. So people are paying Netflix every month, and Netflix goes and gets pays for the license to use David Fincher's Zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very expensive to get a license for a movie. So just get other people's movies and put them on your streaming service. That's when they're profitable. But when you're going out and spending shitloads of money on these shows and movies that go straight to your streaming service, you just dropped, I mean, for example, like Netflix, they'll spend $200 million on Red Notice, some bullshit, some rock movie. They don't get any of that back, like in a theatrical run. They get none of that back at the box office, and they just hope that that movie brings in subscribers, new subscribers, and raises the value of their company so they can charge more for ads.
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that doesn't really work.
Yeah, I'd rather
no
get
one's
the
subscribing to
guaranteed-
Netflix for Red Notice.
Yeah.
And most people have Netflix. There's not many people that don't have it. So you're not really going to gain more subscribers. You're kind of at the peak of like what you can get.
Yeah.
Anyone that has interest in having Netflix has it, in my opinion. Like, there's not much room for growth there. So I say stop making like Netflix originals. Stop spending a shit ton of money on it. And just go back to being a streaming service.
Yeah.
Just stop producing. Stop being a production company.
Well,
Just
I
be a
think
streaming service.
I think some of it is too is if their platform is valued more because of these, then they can charge people more for it.
But that's the thing I'm saying, like, they can raise prices and they can do this and that, but you can look at the numbers. Streaming services are like losing a shit ton of money.
I'm saying that's like just another aspect of like why they would want to. I haven't run the numbers, but I agree with you. Like
every streaming service says, "Oh, we're raising our prices so we can pay for better material for you to watch." But it's like most of them don't have good material.
Yeah.
And it's like Disney Plus is going up this month, and there's one good Disney Plus original that I've ever seen.
That's crazy.
Like, everything else is just shit that they've made in the past that they're just putting on there.
Yeah.
But in terms of new content that they're spending subscribers money to make, it's nothing good.
Yeah.
So everyone just says that, but it's not ever really true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that model just doesn't work. You make money at the box office.
Yeah, the potential for the amount of money you make is way higher at the box office, I feel like.
Yep. You can make money, like Disney as a company can make money every month from Disney Plus, from just their old movies, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, like all their stuff is on there. You pay $8 a month, you get it. Sweet. They're not really spending any money because they already own all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're getting a free $10 a month from everyone who subscribes. And then on the production side of the company, you spend money and then you release the movie theatrically. You make a shit ton of money at the box office, and that's done.
Yeah.
And then
you dump it on your streaming service.
Whenever it's
later.
done in theaters, like a normal movie, then you can dump it on your streaming service.
Yeah.
You add another thing to it. But don't spend money on things that will go only to your streaming service. It's not profitable. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think we've been talking about that for too long, but I hope that they are starting to like figure that out.
Yeah.
Like stop spending so much money on dumb shit. What were we even talking about?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
We were talking about like Daredevil and Fantastic
Oh,
Four
that's what
and,
it was.
like,
Yeah, we
Marvel
were
being
the
a shitter, and
this all originated from the news of us having watched the Daredevil trailer.
Yeah.
And how Marvel is just a train wreck right now.
Yeah. It is. It sure is.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it, buddy.
Yeah. But we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
There's no real news, I don't believe, to talk about. And I didn't feel like getting trivia. So
you
I'll
watched
let
me
you do yours.
slave away getting my trivia,
Yep.
knowing damn well you didn't have trivia.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I actually only did 2 whenever I came in here because it was getting late.
Mm-hmm.
But I can pull another one out of my ass. Here we go. With the trivia. All right. What year was The Tooth Fairy released?
I want to say 2006,
No.
2005,
No.
2007.
No.
2008.
No.
2009.
No.
No way. 2004?
No.
2010?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Dude, what's going on with
I
you
thought
right now?
that was... I mean, you asked me about the Tooth Fairy.
Dude, that's your favorite movie. What are you talking about?
I mean,
That's on your
I thought that
letterbox
was
like wallpaper.
I thought that was like mid-2000s for sure.
Dude, so when I initially looked up The Pacifier, then I was like, I feel like he talks about the Tooth Fairy more, so he probably knows the Tooth Fairy.
I make jokes about the Tooth Fairy, but I don't actually like know that much about it.
Yeah, dude, it's letterbox says 2010. It could be wrong, but
No, it's probably right.
yeah.
I just remember, like, I thought that came out when I was younger than 10, but
No,
I don't know.
you were fucking hanging out with Dwayne Johnson when you were 10.
Sure was.
All right.
I could smell what he was cooking.
I'll think of a random third one. What was the code that they used when someone was infected in Monsters Inc?
I know that.
Come on.
Does it start with code?
No, it's a number.
I don't think all I can think of right now is 89P13.
No, that's not it.
I don't know what it is.
2319. That's the code they would use when
a good
when that guy
question.
kept getting that sock on him.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one. This is a tricky one, so you got to do some thinking. This is a guess the movie by the cast: Owen Wilson, Michael Keaton, Paul Newman.
Well, I don't know Paul Newman, so that kind of sucks. But Michael Keaton and Owen Wilson.
I have
Cars.
another actor I can give you.
Cars.
Yeah. You fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that was it.
I just assumed, since I don't remember ever seeing Owen Wilson and Michael Keaton together on screen, that it was animated.
Yeah.
And if it's animated and it's
It's
Owen Wilson,
Cars.
ka-chow.
Yeah, dude. We're making it happen.
I am Speed.
I should have known I wouldn't have gotten you with that one.
Did you get any reviews?
I did.
Okay.
I
did get reviews.
I showed up here with everything I was supposed to have.
All right. I don't prefer this animosity towards me.
I'm gonna give you a pass since you're feeling bad.
You're going to give me a pass.
Yeah.
The guy that fucking
I'm gonna give you a pass.
bought all the podcasting equipment and uploads it and edits it and markets it all
I
the time.
defended you from those fucking nerds on YouTube Shorts, dude.
Yeah.
I attacked my own community for you.
All right, do a review.
All right. This is from Claire. She gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
Damn, it sucks when your boyfriend gets really high and thinks he's Jesus.
Birdman?
No. It's very on the nose, but I think you can actually get this.
So drugs happen.
Not necessarily.
This is interesting.
If I tell you what it is, you're gonna be like, "Fuck." At least I think you will. The thinks he's Jesus part is really important.
Thinks he's Jesus.
Yeah.
Bruce Almighty.
No. No, it's not Bruce Almighty.
I don't know.
Dune 2. Yeah.
I guess so.
All right. Well, the next one, if you don't get, we're fucking ending the episode.
Okay.
because you're just not in it. You can do yours.
All right. This is by Adam Bolt, 4 stars. I think I came a bit every time they said Back to the Future.
Oh, me and him both, buddy. Is it Back to the Future 2?
No.
Back to the Future?
No.
3?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I knew it had to be one of them.
Yep.
All right. My next one. You better put on your fucking thinking cap, dude.
Okay.
This is from 115 Bryce. He gave it a 3.5 star. I would rather have nothing to remember my dad by than have to watch him perform a tubby time.
Carl.
No way. No way.
I gotta read one of my reviews. Let me be clear about this. In no context will I ever videotape someone's tubby time for them.
I saw that one. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Oh, God, that's good.
Fuck.
Oh, damn.
We fucking dicked each other.
Yeah, we're on top of it, dude.
Damn
we're
it.
in each other's heads right now.
Well, the answer is creep.
Yeah, it's creep.
Yeah.
I saw that one too, and I was like, I'll see if I can find something that doesn't involve like the filming, because he might pick that up.
I got a creep review for you. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's a really good impression. I want the people to know that's actually like
know.
beat for beat the way he says it in the movie. All right. Are you next since I dicked you out of your review?
I mean, we swapped, so you're good.
Okay. This is from Maria. She gave it 4 stars. She said, 4 stars for that big glowing Smurf dick and Patrick Wilson's Kim Kardashian ass.
What the hell? Aquaman 2?
No.
Patrick. Oh, Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That big glowing Smurf dick and Patrick Wilson. He does have a great ass in that
does.
movie, dude.
Every movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's caked up big time.
Mine is from Esther, 4 stars. Loved this movie. Can't wait to find out what happens in it one day.
All right, so it's a really confusing movie.
I will say, like, I don't think you'll get this one. It's pretty niche.
The movie
And
itself?
it's not like what I would think this review. It's not like something super confusing.
Oh, shit. I was going to guess like The Lighthouse.
It's just like kind of bad.
Oh.
And like it's kind of hard to tell what's going on because it's bad, not because it's like trying to be really artsy or anything.
Shit.
But we didn't like it. We've seen it.
I don't think I even have a guess. And if it's not like a pretentious artsy movie, that's the first
Yeah.
thing that my brain goes to.
Yeah. It's The Keep.
Oh, I would have never guessed. To keep it a million years.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want you to
Yeah.
waste your time.
No, that's a good one though. I almost did. George has a review of BVS, and it just says nice. I almost did that.
You have another one?
No, that was
Okay.
all mine.
I got another one.
Oh, I do have another one. Sorry,
Okay.
I almost dicked us out of this.
Yep.
This is, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Soraya, 4.5 stars. Ripped ass, showed cock, dudes rock.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Showed cock.
Yep. Ripped ass is important too.
The
What?
White House.
No. You're close. You're dangerously close.
Really?
Yeah. Ripped
Willem
ass,
Dafoe's cock.
showed cock, dudes rock.
The Northman.
Yep.
There we go.
That's the one.
Hell yeah.
As featured on our Guys Being Dudes episode.
Yep.
The old callback.
Yep. If you know, you know.
Yeah, dude.
It's on the iceberg.
Yeah.
Got a review by Doug, 4.5 stars. It's a very good movie, but all I can think about is how much I love techno and having sex with men.
God. Yep. Me too. Less of the techno part, but
Yeah.
definitely the main
latter?
part. Yeah, the latter. You know what's crazy? I feel like I've seen this review.
I mentioned it one time on the Scoop.
Techno and having sex with men. Tron Legacy.
Think more about techno than having sex with men, because
I know
never
the
really
sex with
happens.
yeah. I'm trying to think of stuff that's like techno.
it's recent.
Challengers.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. And then my creep review
Yep.
that was mentioned. And then last one from Aaron Whitman, 5 stars. These hogs are pretty wild.
I might be dumbfounded by this one. I think that might be Wild Hogs.
It's Night of the Hunter. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's all I got. So we can get into the watch list. Bad news on the watch list.
Oh.
Don't really have anything.
Oh yeah, I don't have anything either. I was hoping you would fill that gap.
There's just been a lot going on between feeling like shit, fantasy draft, Madden coming out, just a lot of hooey, a lot of shenanigans, and oh heavens.
Whoa. I'm glad you put some power in that, dude.
Yeah,
that's what the folks need.
Just haven't really been watching anything. The only 2 things that are on my watch list are like behind the scenes documentaries. So
Anything?
not very fun thing to talk about. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on them. I watched the Disney has a series called Assembled, and it goes behind the scenes of like certain projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the Assembled of X-Men 97, which is like an hour long, just behind the scenes interviews, stuff like that. And I watched the one for Guardians 3 too.
Hell yeah.
And like they're really cool. They're really well made, and it's cool seeing the behind the scenes of everything. I wanted to watch the one for X-Men 97 because I didn't watch the original show. I just don't really know a lot about it. And I wanted to know why it's so good when like everything else they make is so poopy.
Yeah, you're like, well, this is
And like
pretty wild.
Basically the conclusion I came to was the people who made it are like fairly young and grew up with the animated series, and it's like their favorite show, so they love it and they care a lot about it and wanted to do it justice. So that's pretty much the reason to me. Like that, I feel like that's the reason, the thing that separates it from other things that can feel like cash grabs, that can feel kind of soulless and like nobody wanted to be there. Like X-Men 97 doesn't. We'll get into it later, but
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like the people who made it love it and really care. And that's the vibe I got from the documentary. Like these people look like they're like in their 40s, like maybe 50s, but more so like 30s and 40s. So like they grew up with the series, and they came to Disney and was like, hey, like we could reboot this show that like people my age really like, and we can sort of take the things that were great about it but make it a little more mature and make it something that everyone can watch. Even though everyone can watch the older series, it's a little more like childish, and versus the new one that they made is like a lot more, I'd say kind of dark in terms of like the themes and the stories they're going for.
yeah.
It feels pretty. I don't know much about the old show, so I don't know what kind of stuff they got into, but it is kind of surprising some of the stuff that they do in X-Men 97.
I can tell you, I don't remember like shit like that. I don't remember being in the original series, but it has been a really long time since I've seen it. I called my sister up, and I was like, "Hey, you need to watch X-Men 97," because she was a big fan of the animated series, and Like, I think that was like basically my entire knowledge of Wolverine was from the fucking X-Men show.
But yeah, that's all I watched. So that kind of fucking sucks. 'Cause
Fire.
that normally takes up a lot of the runtime.
Yeah.
Me going over the watch list, but did not watch anything. So I guess now we just need to talk about X-Men 97.
There we go. Straight to the point this episode, guys.
Fuck. Damn it.
I was going to watch Upgrade. Didn't.
Why?
I was like, I came inside from taking a break from like mowing the lawn, and me and Logan
Why
were
were you
like,
going to watch it?
because we were like super hot, and we were like, let's cool down and just watch something for a bit. I was letting my batteries charge and stuff. I got a shitty battery mower. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to save the world over here, but it's costing me dearly. So I was waiting on my batteries to charge, and I think we were just gonna like throw something on, but I wound up doing something else instead. I don't remember, but I didn't watch anything substantial.
Yeah. Yeah, that fucking sucks, but we'll try to talk about X-Men 97 for a little bit, I guess. Try to get to at least an hour. Yeah, this episode's gonna fucking suck. It's gonna suck dick. But yeah, we finally finished it. We binged through it. We watched the last 5 episodes in one night. And man, do I love this show.
Yeah. First of all, super easy watch. Like, I feel like from start to finish, you're entertained, you're locked in, at least for me. And then like the very first episode scoops you up so fucking hard about like, this is what we're about. Buckle up.
Right.
The first episode was a huge like highlight in the series for me.
Yeah.
And that's how you need to do fucking. That's how you do TV right there. They jump straight in, badass sequences. They kind of gloss over the characters a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to go into detail about like Cyclops' upbringing and stuff, but they kind of graze on everyone. You get an idea of what everyone's like powers are and their stance within the team and the state that the team's in after the events of the original animated series. And I thought they did a really good job with that, of like not feeling like you were just tossed into things that are going on, you know?
Yeah, I think that for me, the pilot is one of the best pilots I've ever seen, because it does such a great job of introducing you to this world and these characters. If you haven't seen any other projects, you'll know what's going on. They just like the scene in the kitchen where all the X-Men are interacting for the first time, and you see like them use their powers in very casual ways.
Yeah.
Like making coffee and just shit like that. And you start to get a feel for all the characters, who they are, how they interact with each other. And then the people who watch the animated series know about certain things, like not, I guess we'll get into spoilers for X-Men 97. I don't even know if this would be considered a spoiler, but we will eventually. But like Professor X being dead.
Oh yeah.
And if you watch the animated series, you knew that, but I didn't. Like, I just turned this on and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah, dude.
The
Chuck.
hell they do to Chuck. But yeah, they do a great job of catching you up on everything and just kind of throwing you in. And I feel like this may not be a good example, since this is kind of like a sequel, but I've started to really appreciate things that can just throw you in.
Yeah.
And not have to give you an origin story and not have to give you all this setup.
Yeah.
And that's what I really want the Fantastic Four movie to do. I don't know whether they will or not, but I just want the movie to start and they're already the Fantastic Four, and we're just joining in.
They're definitely going to do an origin of the Fantastic Four.
I think the best way to do it may be like an opening title sequence, like while the credits are playing at the beginning, like you can see the origin story happening.
Yeah.
Sort of like what Snyder did with BVS, like with seeing
The news stuff.
his parents dying.
Oh,
Like during
oh
the
yeah,
opening
yeah,
credits.
yeah. I got you.
It's like you don't have to show it. People know who Batman is, but it's like if you're gonna do it during the opening credits, so you're not like wasting people's time.
Yeah.
But yeah, just drop them in, like how the Batman starts. He's already Batman. We don't
Yeah.
need an origin story. We don't need 45 minutes of setup for him becoming Batman. Just start the movie where they're already the superhero and move on.
Yeah.
And just show us a story. Just tell us a story.
Yeah.
And X-Men 97, like I said, isn't a great example because, like, of course they're not showing you an origin story because this is a continuation, so they've already done all that. But in general, like, just being able to start a show with them already being in full form is
Yeah.
really nice.
And they could have taken the easy way out too. Like they bring in I don't remember his real name, but Sunspot, Roberto, and like you could have very easily leaned on the fish out of water, like this new recruit to the X-Men, and then
All this exposition,
exactly
explaining everything.
you're explaining it to Roberto, but really you're dumping it on the audience. But they don't do that. They actually like shelf Roberto after he gets recruited for a while.
Yeah.
And like will let you just spend time with the core X-Men.
Yeah. It's kind of just like the episode starts and you're just kind of in it.
Yeah.
You have this conflict with Charles dying and Cyclops trying to lead the X-Men. Some people really not loving, like Wolverine specifically, not really wanting to do what Cyclops says. Him trying to lead the X-Men. Magneto showing up at the end of episode 1 saying Charles left him his X-Men and like left him the mansion and now he's
Yeah.
going to run it. And it's like, now they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because Magneto is, can't be the best guy sometimes.
He can
So,
be a bit of a
He can be naughty.
he can be a bit of a whippersnapper, dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of leads into my one big gripe about the show, and this is just being picky, but I hate Magneto's design.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I love his design.
In the suit that he wears, like when he comes to the X-Men.
Everything. The suit, like his hair, like just the way he...
I don't
his
mind the
voice,
hair, it's the costume mainly. Like I like his voice.
Like the purple with the big M.
Yeah.
No, I think
He's
it's
got
awesome.
these like elbow long gloves.
Well, he wears
elbow-high
both.
gloves.
Like he wears that, and then he also wears like the traditional like
Yeah.
maroon, burgundy, like burgundy and
Yeah.
purple or whatever.
I'm hard when he puts that on, but when he's got on these ballroom gloves and the fucking like leotard, I don't like it.
I like it. I like both of them.
I'm not
The traditional one's the coolest, but
Yeah, I want to see Magneto with the fucking helmet on.
yeah,
That's what I want.
I don't blame you there. I'm trying to like remember, like try to talk about most things that stuck out to me, but
I thought it was cool, like the concept of Professor X being dead and Cyclops having been like entrusted with like leading the X-Men for so long, but he wants to like leave the team because Jean Grey at this point's pregnant, and he's like, at some point we're gonna have to like stop doing this, and then it's who takes over, and that's when the the shit with Magneto happens. But like, that's crazy. Like, you don't think about that when you're watching X-Men, that like, they eventually want to have a family and like not do this anymore.
yeah.
And then like, what do you do at that point?
I feel like something that really sticks out to me with this show is the writing is very deep in terms of the characters, and all of the characters pretty much always have something going on.
Yeah.
There's constant conflict. There's always problems arising between Magneto and the rest of the X-Men, like the Magneto going on trial and Storm losing her powers, Rogue loving Gambit but not being able to touch him, and like her having a past with Magneto and not really knowing what to do there. There's all this shit always going on, like Roberto not knowing if he should tell his parents that he's a mutant or not.
Yeah.
there's all this going on, and like in the background, there's this big overarching, threat that they're gonna have to face eventually. But it's not like when you watch the shitty X-Men movies like X-Men Apocalypse, like character is shoved to the side just for big world-ending fucking I'm a bad guy, come fight me.
Yeah.
Like that's what some of the movies focus on, and that's why they're shitty. And X-Men 97 puts character first, and then the big villain, which also they do a great job like not really showing their cards with like who the villain of the show is.
Yeah, there's kind of like a couple of red herrings of like it could be this, it could be this, like you kind of go down one road and then it's like, well, actually like this guy, and then it's like you think that guy, not that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean traditionally Magneto at times like turns on the X-Men and like he's the villain.
Yeah.
And then so he shows up at the end of episode 1 and you're like, oh shit, it's like he might be the villain of this season.
That builds conflict already.
Yeah.
And then you have the stuff that, Jean finds out about Trask and stuff. And it's like
Gyrick.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, hang on now.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And then in like episode 4 or 5 you see Mr. Sinister and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
He's probably the villain of the season. And then in episode 7 you get Bastion. You're like, holy fucking shit.
By the way, I fucking loved all the shit with Bastion.
Yeah.
Like him being technopath, whatever the fuck they call it, and being able to control machines. His power, like the visuals of him using his power is really cool. And being like a descendant of like all these different consciousness of Sentinels from like all the way back from Nimrod to Master Mold was a cool idea. And it made sense that like tying in with his powers that he would be like that.
Yeah.
It's just fucking cool as shit, dude.
Yeah, a lot of cool ass shit. And it feels so fresh. It feels like there's a lot of ideas that they went with that I've never... I mean, I'm not the most experienced with the X-Men. Like, I haven't seen the most, read the most comics or, like, watched the show or anything, but it feels like they were doing a lot of stuff I haven't seen before. Like, Storm losing her powers, which is, like, really sad, and that's a great arc, and I love what they did with her.
That could have been, like, too, like, that whole... I thought about that little subplot with Storm. That could have been so fucking boring. Mm-hmm. Like, that was kind of almost like a dangerous ground to travel. Because, like, stripping a character of their power and, like, having a subplot of them trying to gain it back, like, I'd be like, we don't need to fucking do that. But they made it work.
Yeah.
They made it work, and it helped her, like, it grew her as a character. We got to, like, learn more about her, and it introduced Forge, which was cool. Mm-hmm. Voice acting for Forge, not the best in the show.
Yeah, he's my only gripe with the voice acting, because I think, for the most part, it's pretty excellent. I love the voice acting in the show.
Yeah.
Specifically, the standouts for me, I love Cyclops. I think his voice actor's perfect. I love Magneto. I think his voice is perfect. And...
Cables was great, too.
Yeah, I do like Cables. And Cable, the guy... I learned this watching the documentary. I didn't know if these were the same voice actors from the original series or if they recast them. I just assumed that they recast them.
Yeah.
Because those people are old now. But some of them are the same and some of them are recast.
Dang.
Yeah, so Rogue is the same, and so is Beast. And dude, Beast isn't doing a voice at all. Like, that guy just sounds like that. So when he's giving the interview, he just sounds like Beast. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah. An astute observation, my boy.
That's wild.
Yeah, he sounds like that. But the guy who plays Cable was the guy who played Gambit in the old one.
Oh, that's crazy.
But he, like, I guess he wasn't a good fit for Gambit anymore. Like,
well, his voice could have just, like, changed too much.
Yeah,
over the years.
But they still, like, wanted him in the show, and he matched for Cable, so they could do that. The guy who did Wolverine's still the same.
Yeah.
So there's a couple... So basically, the ones that are the same are Rogue, Storm, Wolverine, and Beast. And then everything else has been recast. And that's pretty crazy to me that like those 4 people can still like sound the same after all these years. I mean, I guess your voice doesn't change that much. Unless you're like a smoker maybe, and
I don't know. I think the older you get, it can definitely change. But like if you're voicing an older person, like Wolverine, his voice getting older, I feel like would almost benefit his character. Mm-hmm. But like someone like Gambit, who's supposed to be like, you know, a kind of younger, handsome guy, and then doing that Cajun accent too has got to be like fucking
Rogue,
hard.
Like Rogue sounds pretty young. And
I feel like women's voices aren't affected by age as much as guys are, though.
Probably.
Because like people like women singers I think of still sound fucking dead on as they get older. But you listen to someone like Johnny Cash towards the end, like at his peak age when he got older, his voice sounded a lot different.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, I love the voice cast. It's good. Also one thing I've been saying about animated movies, like things. One thing that bothers me nowadays is now animated movies, studios feel the need to cast A-list celebrities, A-list actors. Like the Mario movie is a perfect example, a movie I hate, where every single character has to be someone recognizable. Jack Black, Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Seth Rogen. It always has to be some big person that you instantly recognize their voice. And it takes you out of the movie. So now instead of seeing Donkey Kong on screen, you're hearing Seth Rogen. Yeah. And it ruins it. It ruins the whole movie. It doesn't feel like those characters anymore. It just feels like a fucking show and tell for guess whose voice this is. And we talked about it on the podcast before. I just want to go back to voice actors. Yeah. Like and also just because you're a good actor doesn't make you a good voice actor. Exactly. Those are two different things. Yeah. You can be a good actor and not really know how to do good voice acting. And voice acting, like voice actors are very talented. Yeah. And I want to go back to just having voice actors because they're very good at what they do and you can see the character. Yeah. Because you don't really know these people because they're not in live action movies. You're not going to hear Cyclops' voice and be like, oh, that's this guy. It's just Cyclops. That's just how he sounds. And it helps flesh the characters out a little more and not. But if Cyclops was played by like Jake Gyllenhaal, as much as I would like Jake Gyllenhaal, like I can hear his voice every time he speaks and it kind of takes me out of it. Yeah. Versus this, I don't know this guy. Yeah. So I like how every character sounds like the character to me and not some
you only identify them as their character. Yeah. It helps a lot if you can do a voice like someone like Seth MacFarlane, you know, is so talented in like being able to do voices. I know like the people you listed like Jack Black at least did a voice in Mario and like it wasn't just him talking like himself. Like Charlie Day did. Like he just talked like Charlie Day, and Seth Rogen just talks like Seth Rogen. So it helps when if you can like nullify it that way. If you can do a voice.
Yeah, like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, because
Boy in the Heron.
My God. Yeah, Robert Pattinson's not in that movie, dude. Yeah, that's just some guy.
I mean, if an actor does a voice and like makes themselves not sound like themselves, then I don't mind it as much. Yeah. But it's still just not necessary. Yeah. Just go get a guy that sounds like that. Yeah. So you don't have to get this A-list celebrity to make him sound like someone else. Just get to someone else.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I see it. But yeah, you were saying the Forge voice actor. He's the only one I'd say like I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know. Maybe he'll be better in season 2. I don't know. I don't want to be mean. But
no, I mean it could be like
he
it
just kind of stuck out like he was reading a script.
Yeah, it could have been the situation that they were in at that time that it felt weird. Mm-hmm. Maybe if we see him interacting on the team now, that we'll get some better action from him. But we'll see. Even then, like me not liking Magneto's like design and his X-Men suit and like Forge's voice acting. Those are kind of just nitpicks, which is really all I have is like that one.
That's really
that
all you
one
can do with
nitpick.
this show, dude. I mean, every problem I feel like people can have are just nitpicks.
Yeah,
Like, it's very difficult to find a flaw with the show. No matter what you go to the show for, you're probably going to be satisfied.
yeah. And the first episode, dude, holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes in, so you're thrown almost immediately into the team. You know, get to see everyone interacting. Jubilee, Roberto, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast, all the gangs there. And they find out about the... Jean Grey has like this... She gets into Gyric's mind and finds out that Trask is like bringing Mashmal back to life, and she sees a Sentinel like wreaking destruction. And they go to this, they go to where he is, and he's got a bunch of Sentinels, and this crazy fucking action sequence plays out, dude. Mm-hmm. It's the coolest shit I've ever seen.
This is episode 1, right?
Episode 1. So they're on the jet. The Sentinels attack the jet. Everyone jumps out. And then the person you follow down, like everyone that can fly catches a person, and then Cyclops says, "See you on the ground." Fucking nosedives and then opens up his like eyes fully to like slow down his fall and creates this huge
he creates
crater.
a parachute with his blast.
Yeah, he creates this huge fucking crater, and superhero lands in the middle, and then he goes, "What does he say?"
He goes, "To me, my X-Men."
And then they fucking assemble.
They all line up behind him.
Oh
in the shot,
God,
in frame,
dude.
And they play the
Holy
score.
shit,
Dude,
yeah.
they play the X-Men theme 19 times an episode. Do it more. I don't care.
Dude, I've got it on my phone. I got it on my phone. I was like,
I don't care how many times
dang.
you play it.
Yeah.
I do not care. It's the coolest shit. They play it every cool moment in the show.
They
Like,
play
I'm
it
not
as
lying.
many times as they did I Was Made for Loving You in the fall.
Yeah.
But they have different versions
They have
of it.
alternate versions.
Yeah, because the ending of Remember It, they play like almost like a piano version, it feels
Yeah.
like. This real melancholy one, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude.
They take the notes and just play them on different instruments, like depending on the scene.
Dude.
Yeah, it's really... Dude, the Newton brothers are ridiculous. They're really fucking good.
Play that same song. You got it. They know what they got, dude.
Yeah,
They're like, you're handing me gold?
Yeah.
All right.
That fight scene though, they all line up in the shot, and then there's a bunch of fucking cool shit happening. I know Wolverine gets Gambit to ignite his claws.
That's like the end when he brings Mastermind to life.
Right.
Yeah, before then they're just like attacking Sentinels. And everyone's using their powers in like really cool ways. They show Cyclops like that scene in a scene before, but he uses his vision almost to like dash across like the battlefield as like a way to move quick. Fucking crazy thought process on that. That was awesome. Beast is like ripping out the wiring to a Sentinel and then jumping inside it to control it.
Yeah.
Wolverine's stabbing
Dude, I
shit.
saw that and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like I saw Beast take out the intestines of the fucking Sentinel and get inside and start operating it and start fucking rock'em sock'eming the other Sentinels, and I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And like you said with Cyclops' blast, they finally, like in the live action movies, they present his blast as just laser vision.
Yeah.
But like it's actually kinetic energy, that it's just like a beam of energy.
Yeah.
So it's not like lethal really. It's not like it's going to cut you in half. It just kind of pushes things away.
It can like put a hole in stuff.
Yeah.
If it
he
turns the
uses
volume
it
up.
intentionally, like to do that, but it's really just like a beam of energy that he can manipulate however he wants.
Yeah.
And so he can use it to move around, and he can use it to parachute and like slow himself down from hitting the ground. Like there's a lot of different ways you can use his powers, and in the movies they just don't. Dude, I like the X-Men movies, but watching X-Men 97 will really make you realize how shit they did some of the X-Men.
Yeah, dude.
They
Really, the only X-Men you get is Wolverine and Jean Grey.
I think I think Jean Grey was done shitty. The only 3 that they did well was X, Magneto, and Wolverine. And they made Wolverine basically the main character of the franchise, which isn't really right.
It doesn't really make any sense.
Like I guess the person who made X-Men, like, they were just like, well, he's the coolest one, so let's just make it about him.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, sure, but like,
Yeah.
I guess he is one of the cooler ones, but he's a small part of a team.
Yeah.
It's like there is no main X-Men really.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you are going to focus on an X-Men, like, it should be Cyclops, the
Yeah.
the leader of the team.
Yeah, I had never really had any. I mean, I liked Cyclops, but I didn't really like. He wouldn't be one of my favorite X-Men because I had only seen the movies, and they don't do anything with him.
Yeah.
Like he has nothing to do in those movies. He's just there to get in between Logan and Jean Grey.
Yeah.
That's it. Like he has no arc. He has nothing interesting happening. And like I said, they use his powers in a really stupid way. Like
Yeah.
very one-dimensional way. But watching X-Men 97, you realize how cool Cyclops is.
Yeah.
And how his powers are a lot cooler. Obviously, his suit's fucking awesome.
Dude, I was going to say he's dripped out.
He's dripped the hell out. But also, like, his actual character, when he's just like Scott and he's just like at the mansion, he's kind of like a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Like, he's responsible, he's a leader, and he likes doing things the right way. But then when he's Cyclops, like, he's kind of that fucking guy.
Yeah, he's
like, he kind of talks shit, and
he's gonna fuck you up, dude.
yeah, he's gonna fuck you up.
bad.
But
bad.
like, sort of like how Spider-Man will like quip
yeah,
when he fights people. Like in the first episode when they're like, and take his goggles too, so he can't beam us. And then he's like, "Oh God, please no!"
yeah,
And then he
yeah.
goes, "Not." And then, like, I know that's a little like dated comedy, like saying "not," but
Yeah.
this is
Hit
in
him
the
with
'90s.
the Borat special.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like this is in the '90s, so
Yeah.
that's something that they would say in the '90s.
I don't know, dude. When you're
But
doing,
it's just like like really, the joke's not funny, but it's funny because he's being a dick.
yeah,
Like, it's funny seeing Cyclops be an asshole.
Yeah. I don't know. Shit like that works for me, especially in like the X-Men 97. You see a lot of stuff that you really don't see in shows anymore. Like even what I consider the weakest episode, which isn't even like the full episode. It's like a half of an episode. It's the Mojo episode. And like you used to see stuff like that all the time in like the Teen Titans show, the real Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go the kid shit. Fuck that.
No, we're talking about the man shit.
Yeah, we're talking about men stuff. The Teen Titans show and like just like even the Spider-Man animated series, like just like random one-off little adventures that a character will go on, and like there's still a charm to it. Like it's only weak because it kind of takes you away from the main events, but I still like it. Like it's still like cool to see. Mm-hmm. And you get some time with Roberto and Jubilee, who I like Jubilee. A lot of people don't like Jubilee, but I do.
I think I might be one of those people.
I think she's a sweetie.
It's just, it's not like I hate you and I want you to fucking die. But in comparison to the other X-Men, she's the least interesting. And in this season, she really doesn't have much going on.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of likes Roberto, and that's it.
Yeah. I remember them doing a decent amount with her in the original series. I could be wrong. Again, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but she is like the newest addition. Aside from Roberto, she was like the new guy, basically, to the X-Men. So,
And I just have a hard time imagining her being useful to the X-Men.
oh, dude, she
I know
fucks some
that's
shit up.
not really like the point. Like, the X-Men kind of takes in people that need help.
Yeah.
And like, it's not just, well, how valuable are you to the team? It's sort of just like they're a family and they're like, they take in mutants that are lost
Yeah.
and like need guidance. So I guess that's kind of the point more so than like how useful she is in actual battles. But you know, I just think her powers are kind of lame, and they haven't really done much with her character. So if I had to pick a least favorite, fucking bingo.
I think my least favorite character, if I had to pick now, would be Roberto.
Well, I'd entangle them. Like, I think that their storyline's kind of connected, and I think every time it cuts to them, it's the weak point of the season.
I will say I went back and watched the first episode of the original series, and it starts out with Jubilee, and her parents like sign her, like there's like a mutant registry almost, and then that gets policed by Trask and the Sentinels, and like her parents like put her name down on it, and it's like this big betrayal of her, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I think she's got some. I think I like her. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they do more with her.
Oh, I'm sure they will. As much depth as they've added to the other characters, they're definitely going to build up Jubilee and Roberto, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think in terms of characterization, the weak points for the season were Roberto, Jubilee, and Wolverine. Wolverine just like kind of occasionally drops lines about like grief is a lonely war and shit like that, and like you get the gist that his past is fucked up, but it's kind of it. Like,
you do get the Apocalypse?
Yeah,
fucking running their knives out, dude.
Yeah,
that was good. But yeah,
they're like, no dismemberments, Wolverine, and he was like, nah, and then he clicks out his claws and he goes, weight loss.
yeah, dude. Just saying crazy shit, just being a crazy guy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
how awkward he got when Jean was like, her water broke.
Yeah.
And he had to take her to the hospital. Oh, another thing, I was talking about like constant tension, and the show has so much going on. Jean getting pregnant was, she was pregnant the whole time, but like her going into labor was pretty nuts. She went into labor while the X-Men were like fighting on a mission, and it was just Wolverine there to help her. And then they go to the hospital, and the hospital won't deliver her baby because she's a mutant, and so Rogue steals the doctor's expertise and does it herself, and like all this crazy shit. And then a couple episodes later, you realize that the Jean that Scott just had a baby with is a clone and not the real Jean. And then the real Jean shows up, and I'm like, dude, this is fucked for my boy Scott. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like, he's put in a fucking predicament because, and then one of the Jeans is mad at him, and she's
the
like,
real Jean's mad at him.
Yeah, and she's like, so do you love me or her? And he's like, I love both of you. Like,
yeah,
I love Jean Grey, and for the past however long that we don't even know, that's been Jean Grey.
Yeah.
And like, I have a lot of experiences with her and just had a baby with her, and it's hard for me to just act like she doesn't exist anymore just because the old Jean showed up. Like, that's a complicated ass situation.
Yeah.
And not a fun one to be in. And that's another thing that I was like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this writing is crazy. There is so much going on. See, this is when you can pull off TV.
Yeah.
Not when there's like full-on episodes of a Disney Plus series where it feels like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Like, you're watching 3 episodes in a row where barely any plot's been progressed.
Yeah.
Like, X-Men 97 is filled to the brim, almost to where it's like too much. Yeah. Like, it's almost hard to keep track.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're kind of forgetting
chilling
things.
at the dinner table, like hanging out, because it's like there's so much going on all the time. And it pretty much maintains that pace all the way through.
Yeah.
Like, all the way through the series. And I think it's like episode... What episode is Remember It?
Oh,
like 5 or 6?
I think it's 5.
5, yeah. So that's the episode... That's the Genosha episode, right?
It is the Genosha episode.
Yeah.
Before we jump into that, though, I did want to finish my thought on the first episode, but...
Yeah,
they all fight the Sentinels. You see the team; they're all taking down Sentinels in like unique ways that favor their powers. Mm-hmm. They get overrun, and Cyclops fucking pulls up his radio and he goes, "Give him the forecast."
Oh my god.
And you get fucking... Go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, I
go ahead
gotta
and get it
pull it
ready.
up real quick.
Storm fucking walks out. Storm's theme is the hardest shit.
Dude, when I heard that shit, I was like, I'm in for something that I did not anticipate.
Yeah, dude.
Did not know they had the fucking juice. Like
I didn't
this.
sign up for this, dude. I didn't sign up to watch Oppenheimer, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck's
Dude,
going
X-Men
on?
97 came out like months ago, and people were talking about it, and like it was a weekly release, so every week people would talk about the new X-Men episode, and I was like, that's a load of hooey. Like, it's how good can it be? Like, I had no idea.
The best thing ever. It was
the best shit ever made.
Dude, and she fucking walks out. That theme is playing. My fucking penis is tingling. Lightning's coming down and hitting sand at her feet, turning it to glass.
Yep.
And then she fucking eviscerates all these Sentinels. Mm-hmm. Trask comes out, brings Master Mold back to life, and you get the fucking Gambit jumping on Wolverine's back, igniting his fucking claws, and then he jumps up and fucking decapitates Master Mold in like one swoop. And you're like, well, god fucking damn it, dude. Yeah. There goes your threat.
Yeah.
They chopped its head off. Yeah. that was your win.
Yeah.
And it got decapitated.
Sure did.
Dude, what a fucking crazy episode. Anyway, yeah. I had to bring that up, but you can go back to remember it now.
I was just saying, like, that's the episode where Gambit dies, and there's a lot going on in the Genosha episode, and I don't fully remember it, to be honest.
Dude,
it's
so much is going on, and it's such a...
I don't know if I've said this, but I'm gonna rewatch this pretty soon. Just like when I don't have time for a movie, or like I'm about to go to bed or something, just because there's a lot in X-Men 97 and there's no filler, so it's like I don't feel like I even really remember everything that happened.
Yeah.
So I rewatched episode 1, most of episode 1 the other day, and I'm just gonna keep watching it.
Yeah.
I want to get a full grasp.
I'm gonna do a full run through of the original, and then go into 97, just because I like it. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I am, but it's just that's a lot, and I don't want to have to go through an entire show.
Yeah, it's only 5 seasons. I thought it was more than that, but like 5 seasons are short episodes, so I was like, I can just watch this before bed and like get through it. But the Genosha episode, I saw this guy reacting to it. I wish I could remember his name, but like during the whole sequence with Gambit on the motorcycle, and he's like, "What the fuck am I watching, Akira?" I was like, dude, yeah. Pretty close. But this, like, the build up to Remember It is important because it feeds into Magneto as a character, because he was a big champion of Genosha and like having mutants live happily, like on their own, separate. Yeah. So
segregation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
he's pro that.
Yeah.
They go to Genosha because they want him to be like their leader. They're being accepted in the UN. They need like an official, and they all agree on Magneto. And it's kind of like a happy-go-lucky episode. You know, they reunite with Nightcrawler, and he's showing them around all this cool mutant stuff.
They're at a dance.
Yeah, they're at a dance. Then the love triangle between Rogue, Magneto, and Gambit kind of comes full tilt, because she chooses Magneto over Gambit, which I'm furious. I was fuming.
It sucks because everyone loves Gambit, but Magneto's the only person she can touch. So
some old guy? I'd much rather be called Cher than touch some old
hot
guy, dude. He is hot, dude. Stop
diffusing.
Stop diffusing my argument, dude. You're ruining everything. No, I think that how Magneto appeals to Rogue makes sense, and her attraction for him makes sense. I think it's I typically do not like love triangle stories in movies or shows. I never think anyone comes out good, but the way that 97, I don't remember how deep the Rogue Gambit relationship is by the end of the original series, but 97 seems like they are somewhat romantically involved, but no kind of like titles or official like anything.
Yeah.
So she chooses Magneto. They do this like big dance. All of a sudden you see Cable saying to like turn off the music, he's coming. Cable disappears, and then fucking Genosha just fucking explodes. Mm-hmm. They send this goddamn Godzilla Sentinel to attack Genosha, and shit just hits the fan immediately.
Yeah, bunch of shit starts going wrong. Big fight happens, and then Gambit gets killed. He gets stabbed by a big sentinel.
Yeah.
And then he, dude, does the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. He's charging at this sentinel. Like, the lead up to it is Magneto doing a lot of the work. Like, Gambit and Rogue are trying to evacuate the city and save people. And fucking Magneto is furious because he loves mutants. Mm-hmm. And he's seeing them get killed. The humans are attacking again. Like, this was after he, like, did the trial and is trying to do...
why did this happen? Why did this attack happen?
It was all... the Bastion did it to continue to feed the the war between mutants and humans. Because Bastion is like pro-human. He wants humans. He wants to basically evolve humans mechanically to overpower mutants.
Right.
But so Bastion is secretly orchestrating all this, but to them, the humans have sent a Sentinel to kill them.
Yeah.
And that's what Magneto sees. And he's attacking this thing, dude. He fucking freaks out, loses his shit, picks up a subway train out of the ground and uses it like a fucking bullwhip to attack the Sentinel. Mm-hmm. They're fighting, and eventually Magneto gets overpowered by this like Godzilla Sentinel. And the fucking coolest shit ever happens. He like puts up a force field and like protects Rogue and Gambit. And he's got what do they call those guys? The sewer guys.
Sewer guys?
Yeah, they've got like a name.
With the military guys?
No, like the green guy, the little green guy in the sewer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're not mutants, but they call them something else. They're the guys that Gambit rescued. The Morlocks. Morlocks, or whatever they call them.
Morlocks. Yeah.
And fucking Magneto looks down like he knows he can't keep the force field up, and he says, "Don't be afraid" in German. And I was like, fuck, dude. And then you see his force field like collapse. Mm-hmm. Rogue loses it, and she starts charging, like fighting recklessly. Gambit throws a fucking motorcycle at her to keep her from getting killed, and then he single-handedly takes on the Sentinel. Mm-hmm. In the most fucking badass shit. He jumps up, about to drop the pole down, and it stabs him in the side.
Yep. And then he lights the whole thing up with his energy.
Yeah.
About to destroy it. And then he goes, "The name's Gambit. Remember it."
And then
just fucking
kaboom.
Just the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. The gnarliest shit.
Yeah.
And then that episode ended, and I was like, so Gambit's dead?
Yeah, dude.
And, I mean, I'm sure they'll bring him back, because that's just what you do. Like, in the comics and in X-Men, like, it's pretty common for people to die and come back all the time.
Yeah, especially with...
And, like, with someone like Gambit, who is such a big part of the team and such a fan favorite, I doubt they'd use him for 5 episodes and then you never see him again.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, anytime you're playing with time, like, the introduction of Bishop and Cable, like, obviously...
You can undo almost anything.
You can do some stuff.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see that, like... them introducing like Cable trying to stop Genosha from happening but unable to, and there being like set points where you can't like interfere. Mm-hmm. So that's cool to see how they're going to navigate that in the future. But yeah, the Gambit sequence was fucking awesome.
How did you feel about the Charles Xavier stuff on the alien planet?
I don't know anything about the aliens. I know about actually no, I don't know anything about the aliens.
I don't either.
So I don't know if they're like, if they were just writing him back in and being like, oh, he was off on this alien planet, or like I don't know if they're making that up, or if that's how things were set up and these are established characters that we're seeing. But
oh no, I don't think in the animated series, like in the animated series, I'm pretty sure like he died. Like,
okay,
that's what you're supposed to believe, is that he died, and then they're just kind of bringing him back and saying like he faked his death. But
I don't really mind it. I could see someone not liking it, but I feel like we don't spend a ton of time with them in the first place.
well, my thing is, I may not have a great grasp on Charles Xavier as a character because my only experience with him is the X-Men movies. And I heard from people on a podcast that read the comics that Charles abandoning the X-Men to go fuck off and bang an alien is like very in character and something he would do. And they say that like he's kind of like he makes a lot of bad decisions and like he sort of has good intentions but he fucks up all the time.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's why it feels a little weird to me, is just because I'm not super familiar with Charles in the comics or in other media, and I only know the Patrick Stewart, James McAvoy version, which is like very straightforward, like the best person ever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just the most
He
gentle,
lives for his students.
yeah, like the kindest, most gentle, good intentions person that's ever existed. And so it's kind of hard for me to believe that that person would fake his death, abandon his X-Men, and go live with aliens. Like,
yeah.
it feels weird to me, but I'll take their word for it that it's like there's a lot more to Charles than like the Fox movies have let on.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that like what they did with him was they basically gave him a task, like if you want to marry this alien chick and become like the king and queen with her, then you have to clear your memory of Earth. And he basically said fuck all that noise, and they started fighting. And then he did the most Charles Xavier shit I've ever seen in my life, where instead of fighting, he gets in their head and sits them down in a classroom,
Yeah.
and starts telling them why he's the best.
Yeah. He says class is in session.
Yeah.
And they all appear in his mind, and he's eating an apple at the
Yeah.
front of the class.
Yeah.
Someone who says, "Where are we?" And he goes, "I'd appreciate you raising your hand first." And then he answers his question.
Yeah. And compare that to "You're in my house now" from
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what are we doing?
Classes in Session was a fucking powerful ass line. Dude. That
Yeah,
was
and then
sick.
he's literally just talking to them.
Yeah.
It's like, I know y'all want to kill me right now, but like, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Fucking get your notepad out.
Get your shit together.
Yeah. So then I think the last 3 episodes are called Tolerance is Extinction, Part 1, 2, and 3. Coolest shit ever.
That's fucking...
Coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
But I watch these all in continuation, so they all kind of blend together, and I don't know fully what happened in them.
Yeah.
But one thing I loved was how they were like the X-Men are fighting Bastion, and they're like trying to get Charles to come help them, and Charles is staying with Magneto and getting in his head to try to like bring him back.
Yeah.
And they're like this guy's gonna end the world, and Charles is very locked on to the fact that they need Magneto to save the world.
Yeah.
And so we get like these very incredible scenes where Charles is in Eric's head, and you have this like visual, they're in this bar, and you have this visual like motif in the background of these waves that like as Eric's mind state grows more like intense, the waves start getting stronger and stronger,
and, like crashing
and,
up
like
against the
crashing
side
into
of the
the bar,
board.
and
Yeah,
just some of the coolest storytelling and visuals I've seen in anything.
yeah,
Like I want to rewatch it right now just so I can see that.
yeah.
And like the score that's playing and the dialogue is so perfect. Dude, Magneto was dropping bangers this whole fucking season.
Yeah.
Like he was just dropping bars. I can't even, dude, he drops like 5 an episode. I can't even remember half of them. But I remember one was he was talking to the UN or something in Genosha, and they were like, "Well, we don't let our senators become terrorists." And he was like, "Then why do you let terrorists become senators?" And
Oh, it was the opposite.
it was the opposite
Because he said he's become like the senator of Genosha, and she was like, we don't elect terrorists to be senators, and he's like, then why are all your senators terrorists?
yeah,
I was like, oh
yeah.
I would have resigned. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I would quit.
Dude, I wish
give
I
up.
could remember more of them. I was trying to look them up. On my rewatch, I might take notes, but like he genuinely drops too many bars to even remember.
Yeah. While you looked that up, I also want to talk about some of the, like, they randomly throw in some really crazy horror aspects to the show. And there's 2 specifically, and one is when the Jean Grey clone like when Sinister like activates her like a Manchurian candidate, she like attacks the mansion, and all these like everyone's nightmares start coming to life. It's the coolest shit ever. Like
Yeah.
the visuals of it are freaky. It looks good. And it all makes everyone's is like very personalized to them, and it like explains more about their character. I love that shit with the Goblin Queen. And then when Storm loses her powers, she's with Forge, and she's haunted by this demon, this like self-doubt owl monster demon, and they keep it in the dark, and you'll see its like eyes glowing in the dark, and she's being like consumed by this this demon. It's pretty fucking crazy, like that you put that in the show. These dark elements.
Oh, I remembered another one. Well, I didn't remember it. I'm on Reddit.
You're good.
But when he's on trial.
I remember
When he's
him
on
saying
trial and he says, "Don't make me let you down."
something. Oh shit,
Dude, that's
dude.
the fucking most
Oh my god,
badass shit I've ever heard in my life. The name's Gambit. Remember it. That shit's awesome.
Oh, dude, you know what we didn't talk about? Another horror aspect. You got another one?
Yeah.
Hit me.
Favorite quote. I gave him up because you can't say sorry. Because I have to stomach your questions. Oh, this is Cyclops on the news.
Yeah.
And he says, I gave him up because you can't say sorry. Because I have to stomach your questions. We're nothing alike. Thank God. Because it's the only thing keeping you people alive.
Jesus, dude.
Dude,
Yeah, that's when he has his breakdown.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much shit like that just like really makes you think about like what these characters are going through. There's so much of that. But I was gonna say another like horror aspect about the show is when Bastion activates his like Order 66, if you will, and he does these Sentinel human hybrids where he's got like these sleeper agents all over the world that are super highly advanced Sentinels that like they're almost like zombies, like World War Z zombies that come in hordes attacking people. And they attack the mansion, and the only 2 people there are Nightcrawler and Wolverine. And Wolverine's getting kind of overrun, and Nightcrawler pops up, teleports in with 3 fucking swords, one in each hand and one in his tail, and starts fucking their face, dude.
Yeah, one of the best. Wait, you're talking about Nightcrawler and Wolverine together saving Rogue, right?
I don't remember who they were saving. I just know they were at the mansion together.
Yeah, Nightcrawler and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the guys says like, well, why would we be afraid of you? And then Wolverine goes, I got 6 reasons.
Yeah,
and pulls him
dude.
out. And then Nightcrawler goes, make that 9 or whatever, and pulls out his 3 swords. I was like, holy fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
start slicing those fuckers up.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Also, I haven't found it on here on this Reddit, but in the I think it's in the last episode, Storm and Jean Grey are talking, and they're like about to go off to fight, and then Jean says to Storm, may they mind your weather. And Storm says, and may they weather your mind.
Oh,
Holy
God,
fuck,
dude.
dude.
This is a goddamn team. These are people. These are elite operators.
Yeah.
Just
The best
charging-
in the world at what they do.
Yeah, no one else does it like them. No, dude. And then like the fucking battle against Bastion lasted so much longer than I thought it would, dude. It kind of reiterates how quick like boss battles in movies end. Like you're only there for a few minutes. They fight Bastion for a long time. It's like hordes of Sentinels and then Sinister fucking around, and they finally get to Bastion, and he like reveals his true power. He fucking rips off Cable's arm and absorbs it.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh my god, dude, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
He's like the Lex Luthor of the X-Men almost, somehow. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Also, I love how Magneto rips out Wolverine's adamantium
Yeah.
in the final episode. And I didn't know that was really like part of the story in the comics, like Wolverine getting his adamantium taken out.
Yeah, people dick with Wolverine a lot, dude. I think in Infinity War, Thanos turns his adamantium into rubber.
Damn,
Yeah.
that sucks.
He doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
That doesn't work well.
Yeah, he's just slapping you with hot dogs at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no fun.
But yeah, he fucking rips it out of his body. And that's like what it's that whole sequence is really crazy because like Charles is telling him like, I'm gonna take over your mind and make you reverse the like electromagnetic shit that you did to the earth. And like him doing that to Wolverine is like the like him seeing Wolverine like almost like get attacked like that. He's like, I'm doing it. And he fucking does it. And then that's when he like their minds become like fractured and Professor X stays to save it and lets the team fuck with Bastion and stuff.
Yeah,
It's so good, dude.
I need to rewatch it. I'm having trouble like remembering most of it.
Well, you said like after we finished it, you were like, I like that more than Invincible.
Yeah, I think I like it a lot more than Invincible. When I'm trying to not have recency bias, but when I think of Invincible, the only thing interesting about that show to me is Mark and his dad.
Yeah.
Everything else to me is boring. When it cuts back to the team, like whoever's in it, that like the girl that gets younger and
I know.
fucking Rafi,
Monster Girl, Rexplode.
Yeah, all those like
Robot.
I'm sorry, I don't care. Like I don't care about those characters. I don't care when they cut back to Mark's gay friend in college. I don't care when they cut back to Mark and Amber. Like the whole reason I was interested by the show was the dynamic with Mark and his dad. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I didn't like season 2 was because there's basically none of that. They're separate and you get like a tiny bit of them together. But in X-Men, like there isn't that. It's every single thing in the show, every character is interesting, every storyline's interesting.
Yeah.
And the animation's better. The animation in Invincible
I was
going to
say
good.
the visuals of X-Men, and I don't know if it's just because like they just busted nuts when they used to design characters, but like everyone is like the way Nightcrawler. Look at that fucking jelly guy. He looked fucking cool shit.
Yeah.
Everything in Genosha looks amazing. Gambit's design is great. Nightcrawler looks amazing. Rogue, like all these bright, vibrant colors and this like hand drawn feel to it. Like I don't know. I don't even know if it's hand drawn anymore. I know they simplified a lot of the designs from what they used to be because the original series was hand drawn. But
It's fake hand drawn.
Yeah.
Like it's computer animation that they made look like 2D animation.
yeah, but it looks fucking great. Look at
Yeah.
that shit, dude. Come on.
So yeah, that's just I'm much bigger on X-Men 97 than Invincible, and you know, I don't know if there's much else to compare it to really, because I'm trying to think of like animated shows I'm big on, but like I prefer this to The Boys. I'm kind of out on The Boys at this point. Like I do not get very excited when that show comes on anymore. I don't know what it
I'm
is.
still pretty involved in it, but
I'll
the
watch
last
the new season
season-
when it comes out, but I don't know. Like
Yeah.
when season 3 came out, I thought season 3 was pretty awesome,
yeah,
but season 4 was a big disappointment for me, and I don't know.
yeah. Like season 4 it's good. It's good TV, but it doesn't feel like super built up.
Yeah,
You know, this felt like someone gave me a full facial, dude. They blew their load all over me on this.
yeah, it's perfect. Like
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, no matter what you're going to X-Men 97 for, you'll be satisfied. If you want good adaptations of characters you love, you got it. If you just want to see some good writing, good storytelling, you've got it. If you want to see cool action, cool animation, you've got it. Want to hear a cool score, you've got it. There's basically no flaws in the show.
Yeah.
And it's like child friendly. Like it's not for kids. Like what they're exploring is pretty dark, but they don't curse or like do anything very gross in it.
Yeah,
so
you can watch it
You can
at-
watch it with kids. And,
Yeah, you can watch it at the surface level of like what's going on and be like big robots,
Yeah.
bad guys, good guys.
Yeah.
But like you can also dive deeper and like the Genosha thing being viewed as like a terrorist attack against a group of people who are viewed as lesser than and mistreated and outcast by the rest of society, and them just trying to find like a place that they can be at peace with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you can dive deeper into it and view it as an adult and see the more consequences and more interesting things. But like you can't put a kid in front of the TV and be like, whoa, superheroes.
Yeah. That guy has laser vision.
Yeah, I think that's how they can get by with like being so violent, like cutting off heads, is because they're using Sentinels. They're all robots. Like none of them are real people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only bit of blood you get is when Wolverine stabs Magneto. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of blood. There was something I wanted to say. Having trouble remembering.
How'd you feel about the note that it ends on with Forge and Bishop, kind of like,
Saying
and
they
them
fix
being
it.
in the past, or the past and the future?
I don't really remember what happened.
So the end, Bishop's like, you don't know me yet, but me and you are gonna be friends, and we're gonna
Pulled a
save the
Tenet.
X-Men. Huh?
Pulled a Tenet.
Yeah, yeah. He's Neil.
Yeah.
But half of them, I don't remember what half, but half of them wind up way in the past.
Oh, right. Like some of them are in Egypt and some of them are in
The
fucking
future.
The future.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I mean, that's interesting. I'm sure they'll probably resolve it pretty quick, though.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
within
yeah,
the
they're
first
not gonna
episode or
stay
two.
there for long. But I remember like the second we saw pyramids, and it was like BC, I was like probably apocalypse, and you were like, I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah, they teased him.
I didn't know if you wanted to like open up about that a little bit, where if it was just you saw X-Men Apocalypse and was like, fuck this.
I just, I mean, It's fine. Like, I don't know. I don't know much about Apocalypse. I don't like the movie. I don't like that. But I would like to see a good adaptation of Apocalypse, so I guess I'm open to it.
Yeah. Apocalypse is sick,
It
dude.
just seemed like something they would kind of build up to.
Well, it's not like actual Apocalypse.
Isn't
Yeah.
that him, though?
It is him, but like they fight him at that current time. So like him thousands of years ago is probably a very different type of
Oh,
person.
are you just saying it's like an Easter egg? Like,
No, they might like interact with him, but he's not going to be like world dominating Apocalypse. You know, he's young and like I don't know what they're doing with his character, but he could be different than like I am God and all you are lesser than.
right. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Make his character interesting. And we forgot to mention the cameos, too. They're
Oh yeah.
during the big
fucking-
fight in New York.
You get the D fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Daredevil cameos, which feel completely natural because they're fighting in New York, and Spider-Man and Daredevil live in New York.
Yeah.
So, pretty obvious to just like include
Yeah.
a shot of them. And it doesn't feel like... It feels like a cameo that's just showing that this is a bigger world than just the X-Men, and not like forced fan service like The Flash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's like the go-to example of how not to do cameos.
Yeah.
It serves no purpose in the story. It feels completely out of place and is just saying, "Hey, look at this."
Yeah.
But these like make sense. A, because they're trying to probably tease them for the future. Like, hey, all these guys are in New York, so you might see them again sometime. But it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
that's where they are. So it would make sense that Daredevil and Spider-Man would be out fighting crime while all the shit's going on.
Yeah.
And then you see Captain America and Iron Man
Yeah.
for a little bit.
And like Rogue interacts with Captain America, and like they have a discussion. So like it all makes sense
it's not
because
just cameos. It's like
Yeah.
he's a part of the story they're telling.
and even when you see Spider-Man and Daredevil, it's to like I think another reason why they did that is because like everything always feels separated by like worlds almost like big dividers, but I think it added scale to the size of threat
Yeah.
of like with what they're doing affecting Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like this is a serious thing.
Right.
This isn't just like fucking up their shit.
Yeah.
Daredevil sees it, Spider-Man sees it, Iron Man sees it, like all these other people.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
I agree. And also we got like a 2-second tease of Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
which I didn't expect. I didn't really think of Doctor Doom when I think of the X-Men. But he's kind of just like an in general Marvel villain.
Yeah.
So I think he can kind of work for whoever. But I would love to see Doctor Doom in a later season.
Oh, dude. He'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Little Doom action, little Doomsday.
Yeah. But I think that's mainly everything I wanted to say. But it's one of my favorite seasons of TV. Definitely like top 10. If I can only pick like, one season per show, because if I could do, I'd have 5 seasons of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, if you had to limit yourself.
Yeah. But if I had to pick like a limit of 1 season per show, it's definitely top 10. True Detective season 1, Breaking Bad, all of them.
Game of Thrones last season.
Severance season 1, Succession. I'm not sure what the best season of Succession is. They're all pretty even.
They're all pretty consistent. I'd
Yeah.
say
One of the first 3, I'd think.
I think 2. It went I think when we ranked them it was 3-2, 3-1-2. I think.
God, I don't remember it well enough. I think 2 might have been my favorite. Well, that's L to the OG, so that's definitely my favorite.
L to the OG.
Yeah. Yeah, but the show's really making me realize how much I want, like, a good X-Men movie. And I'm saying good as in like faithful,
Yeah,
like a faithful
Yeah.
X-Men movie.
It kind of like ramped me up on animation more. I've like when I watched this season, I felt like I did coming off of like binging The Last Airbender, and it got me more excited for like Creature Commandos, and like I was ready to watch the original animated series, and like we watched the intro to the Spider-Man animated series with the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
His theme song is just an electric guitar and a robot voice saying Spider-Man over and over again.
Hell yeah.
What else do you want from a guy, dude? So I don't know, dude. I'm really excited about it. It's I'm singing the praises.
Yeah. I'm telling everyone I can to watch it. Season 2 should be coming out soon, like probably next year.
I'll bring the lotion and the tissues, dude.
Yeah. Yep. I bought the Dark Phoenix graphic novel, so I'm gonna read that soon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's right there. On top.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, man.
2 chicks at the same time, man. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this week. Our next episode should be an Alien episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because we will be seeing Romulus, but I don't know if we'll be able to rewatch every Alien movie before the episode. Hopefully I can. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do it on my own since you get busy.
Yeah, I'll try and grind it. We don't have to worry about Alien because we just watched Alien not too long ago. So we have Aliens, Alien 3.
Yeah. Alien 3 is not the one to do that for.
Which one am I thinking of then?
Resurrection. Alien 3, I'm not saying Alien 3 is good, but it's not like it gets worse than Alien 3.
Maybe I'm thinking of Resurrection. Which one had like the brown alien in it?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, might be Resurrection.
And then AVP Requiem.
I thought AVP was fun.
I'm just saying the movies that are in the franchise.
Oh,
And then Prometheus, and then Covenant.
dude,
I don't know if I want to watch AVP and AVP Requiem just because time.
Yeah,
Like,
we
I just
don't have to worry about.
I don't
those.
think I'll have time to watch those. But people have been talking a lot about Prometheus and Covenant, and I've never seen Covenant ever.
Dude, I would pay a guy $10 to come and just punch me in the face and make me like Prometheus. I want to like Prometheus. My fucking ass is open and gaped for Prometheus, and it just will not enter. It won't go in. No matter what I do, dude.
I think what I've
I've seen it. I've seen Prometheus 3 times, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know why, but I just like, this is the one. I'll do it this time. And I never reach completion. It never happens for me.
Yeah.
I try so hard.
I wanna rank every Alien movie, so hopefully we can get at least most of them rewatched, so we can rank most of them. But if not, fucking, we'll do something.
Hooey.
Yeah, we'll just talk about Romulus then. But,
Yeah.
thanks for listening to the
Film Scoop.